Hey, what's going on? My name is Jack Lane. Welcome back to a brand new video here at the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the hopes that Charlie Cox has for more Daredevil crossovers in the MCU after Spider-Man No Way Home and Echo. Of course, Charlie Cox is making his Marvel TV show debut, like his full-on debut for his own series in the beginning of 2025 with Daredevil Born Again. And he's been doing interviews talking about his hopes and dreams for his future with the MCU. Daredevil Born Again actor Charlie Cox opens up about his hopes to see more crossovers for Matt Murdock in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The hero that began the Defenders era on Netflix is close to being back in the MCU timeline on a full-time basis, with Daredevil Born Again arriving on Disney Plus in March 2025. While his second solo show is currently in post-production, the MCU has been slowly setting up Murdock's next chapter by having him cameo in various films and TV shows to this point. Screen Rant's own Joe Declamer recently hosted Cox's panel at Fan Expo Chicago, where he chatted about his new future with the MCU. One of the projects that he reflected on was his appearance in the Echo TV show featuring Alaqua Cox, as he stated how much he loved to work with her again following his brief cameo. He went on to say, "Yeah, so I have very little to do on that show if you've seen it. I think I'm in 2 scenes and one of them is a fight scene, so I did not get a huge amount of time in. She's amazing. She was a phenomenal performer and played that character beautifully. I know that Vincent speaks so highly of her and the whole experience of that show, so I hope we get some more stuff together in the future. Really, especially as we share the same surname." Cox was also asked how it has been to be a part of the MCU on a full-time basis, especially with all of the Marvel Netflix shows being fully canon to the sacred timeline. When discussing it, it felt different this time around. Cox brought up getting to reprise the role back in 2021 Spider-Man No Way Home and his desire to see future crossovers with the web-slinger. He said, "Being in the Spider-Man movie felt like a big step in terms of a lot of people referencing that when I met them. I guess you can't underestimate how much it means when these characters have a history in the comics. When we then get to collide on screen, it really means a lot to the fans, and I get that. I feel that way now as well myself. So if the Spider-Man thing is such an iconic thing, the idea of Matt Murdock and Peter Parker together is just so iconic. I hope that in the future we get to do some more stuff together because that really is fun. That's the main thing, just that those opportunities can arise." Where Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock can fit into the MCU after Daredevil Born Again. We know we're getting 2 seasons of Daredevil Born Again. We know that. One of them is releasing in March 2025. The other one is set to start shooting in 2025. And it could be potentially shot alongside the up-and-coming new Spider-Man movie. As long as scripts and all that get handed in and they're fine and things get moving with Spider-Man 4 quicker than anyone can really expect. But it is rumoured that Spider-Man 4 will start shooting in 2025. So, this is the question I have. Will Spider-Man 4 feature Daredevil? Anyway, where can Matt Murdock fit into the MCU after Daredevil Born Again Season 1 and potentially Season 2? This is where. Okay, so with the Daredevil Born Again TV show premiering next year, there are a number of ideal MCU projects that Cox could sharp next after the Disney Plus drama. After his Spider-Man No Way Home cameo, there has been a massive interest in wanting to see Cox sharp in Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. Since the Daredevil and Spider-Man have been quoted by Kevin Feige to be the faces of the street-level heroes for the MCU, Spider-Man 4 will be the perfect MCU film for Cox to get a larger role in after his show. And Cox will also be reprising his role of Daredevil in the upcoming Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which is set in an alternate reality to the MCU, but still cool. Since there are only a handful of movies and TV shows left on the slate for the multiverse saga, Cox's Daredevil will likely be showing up in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. It would make sense for Daredevil to meet the other heroes in Avengers Doomsday and finally start to connect with other members of the MCU. That alone can set up his more natural role in Avengers Secret Wars, which would bring an end to the multiverse saga. Given how beloved Cox's Daredevil has become to the MCU audiences, it would be a genuine shock not to see Murdock in more movies after his solo show. It is very likely that Cox knows what his film situation will look like with Marvel Studios, but that he is simply not allowed to disclose any details due to NDAs. Hopefully, as much Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is set to start filming soon, it will give some clues as to where the New York hero will go next in the MCU. So here's my suggestion. Tom Holland is due another MCU reprisal role where he comes into another MCU project that isn't a Spider-Man project. People are going Avengers Doomsday. I don't think they should do that. If he's only got the one reprisal role for an MCU project, make it Daredevil. I do not want to see Tom Holland in Avengers Doomsday if they then cannot capitalize on Spider-Man's ending in that in Secret Wars. If they cannot capitalize, if they cannot continue Spider-Man's story, whatever happens to him in Doomsday, they can't continue it into Secret Wars, which I think they should, because he plays a pivotal role in the Avengers, in Infinity War and Endgame. He plays a pivotal role in Iron Man's story, and Robert Downey Jr. being Doctor Doom, it just sets up the perfect sort of WTF moment for Peter Parker and for fans to see how they react. So my response to this is, put Tom Holland in the Daredevil show, put Charlie Cox in Spider-Man 4, have the Daredevil Season 2 premiere before Spider-Man 4, have it premiere a month before the final happens, then about 3 weeks or 2 weeks later, Spider-Man 4 hits theaters, and it continues that story on. That'd be kind of cool, and it mean we wouldn't have to wait a year to see what happens to Daredevil. It would mean we'd have to wait 2 to 3 weeks. It'd be in movie form, and it'd be a team-up movie like Deadpool and Wolverine, where it'd be Spider-Man 4, his own Spider-Man film, but he'd have an MCU hero with him. Of course, the MCU heroes crossing over to the Spider-Man films is nothing new. We had Tony Stark in the first Spider-Man movie, we had Nick Fury in the second, and we had Doctor Strange in the third. So it's nothing new, it's just another interesting idea, and with them being quoted as the Street Fighter level heroes for New York, it kind of gives it that sort of, with the faces of street level heroes, that's the quote that Kevin Feige gave, it kind of gives it that face of, yes, it would work massively, and I think a lot of people would love it. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Tom Holland will reprise his Spider-Man role before Spider-Man 4 in Charlie Cox's Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again? Because we know they're filming around the same time, it is believed at the moment. So there is plausibility to this question. And I also want to hear your thoughts on the whole Daredevil situation, and where you think, if he doesn't appear in Spider-Man 4, where you guys think he could appear next. And if it's not Spider-Man 4, what other film is it? Is it the 2 Avenger films? Who knows? But I want to hear your thoughts all down in the comment section down below. Drop a like on the video, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 40 subscribers. So let's keep pushing. Let's keep on going. And as always, stay cinematic. I'll see you later. Goodbye for now.